Emma sat alone in the airport terminal, gripping a one-way ticket and a small suitcase packed with only the bare essentials. Her hands shook not because of the chilly air conditioning, but from the emotional weight of all she had left behind. For years, Emma had endured a toxic marriage controlled, silenced, and constantly made to feel insignificant. But at some point, something deep within her finally broke free. She didn't have a plan, just an intense, burning need to escape and begin again. So, without overthinking it, she booked the first cheap flight she could find and walked away. From everything, she boarded the plane quietly, avoiding eye contact with the flight attendants. Taking her seat by the window, she tried to calm her racing heart, her eyes already filling with tears. A few moments later, a man in a sharp gray suit took the seat next to her. He gave a polite nod before returning to something he was reading on his tablet. Emma tried not to pay him any attention. Her mind was too crowded with thoughts. But when the plane hit turbulence mid-flight, it sparked a conversation between them. The man, whose name was Jack, noticed her trembling hands and gently asked if she was all right. There was a calmness in his voice that put her slightly at ease. Emma paused, then offered a vague response. She was starting over, unsure of where life would take her next. Jack listened silently, his face unreadable but kind. Their conversation continued, flowing more naturally than Emma expected. She was surprised at how easily she opened up. Jack shared parts of his own story too, his travels, work, and how life can sometimes take unexpected turns. He didn't talk much about his profession, just mentioned that he helped build businesses and occasionally invested in startups. For someone so well-dressed and composed, he seemed remarkably sincere. After they landed, Emma was hit with a sudden realization she had mistakenly boarded the wrong flight. She meant to go to Denver, but in her rush, she had bought a ticket to Seattle. Her stomach sank. She had no contacts there, no plan, and barely enough money for even a cheap motel. Embarrassed, she apologized to Jack for the confusion and braced herself to face the situation alone. But Jack surprised her. "I have a place here," he said casually. "It has a guest house. You're welcome to stay for a couple of nights until you get your bearings." Emma hesitated, but there was something steady and respectful in his presence that made her feel safe. She agreed. What she didn't realize was that Jack wasn't just a well-dressed stranger. He was a millionaire CEO who had recently stepped back from the spotlight to take a break after a major business acquisition. Jack had boarded that very flight on a whim, simply looking for a quiet escape from the headlines and constant pressure. Emma had never been part of his plan, yet her honesty and quiet resilience left a lasting impression on him. Over the next few days, Emma stayed in the guest house behind Jack's home. She found comfort in the garden, peace in cooking meals, and slowly began to rediscover her sense of self-worth. Jack never pried or pressured. He simply gave her space and occasionally joined her for a friendly conversation over coffee. One morning, Emma shared an idea with him, an online platform designed to connect women escaping toxic relationships with vital resources, shelters, job support, and community aid. She didn't expect much. It was just a fragile dream she had scribbled down during the loneliest nights. But Jack leaned forward, clearly interested. "I think you're onto something," he said, "and I want to help you bring it to life." Emma stared at him, stunned. "You do this kind of thing?" she asked. He smiled. "I used to, and I still can when the idea is worth it. Yours is." And so, they started building it together. Jack brought the technical support, startup funding, and the right connections. Emma shaped the heart of the project, drawing from her own story and the voices of countless other women. They named the platform Rise Again, a name that carried the essence of recovery, courage, and new beginnings. Months later, Rise Again launched nationwide. Within weeks, it became a lifeline for thousands. Emma was invited to speak on panels, podcasts, and conferences, emerging as a voice for those who had once been silenced. Throughout it all, Jack stood beside her not just as a business partner, but as someone who truly believed in her. Their bond grew naturally, not forced by circumstance, but nurtured through mutual respect, healing, and a shared mission. Emma had once boarded the wrong flight, running from a life that had shattered her, but she ended up next to a man who helped her not only rebuild but rise, and in doing so, empowered her to help thousands of others do the same. Sometimes, the wrong flight takes you exactly where you were always meant to be.